So as mayor, I have a couple of remarks, and I've always sort of taken this opportunity upon becoming mayor to sort of share where I think we are as a community and where we might go. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about that history and the challenges we face and the opportunities I think are at hand. First, of course, I have to give special thanks to my wife, Maggie, who has sworn me in for the umpteenth time, perhaps. But as you can tell, she's a pro, and I couldn't do any of this, as most of us up here, we couldn't do any of this without the support of our family. So thank you for that. And to my mother for coming from Illinois for the holidays and for this. This is a nice add-on. It's nice to have you here at this sort of opportunity. And of course, for my son, Charles, it's very important for me that you're here. I think all of us up here do our jobs because of your generation and what we're hoping this community will be for you. And that goes for all the other kids who are here in this audience too. And we sort of have an audience loaded with kids tonight. Many of them are Charles' classmates. So thank you guys for all coming. It's really wonderful to see you here. It is a great honor to serve as mayor of the great city of Rancho Cordova. And this is my, how should I put it, my third attempt, my third time as mayor. We rotate the job. I'm not quite sure which saying to follow or think about. Is it third time's the charm or 3 strikes and you're out? It's, it could go either way. We'll have to see. But you know, the best thing about being mayor is that sort of symbolically, everyone is your neighbor while you're the mayor. You have a special relationship with everyone in the jurisdiction. I don't really have any special powers. As we've described it here, we're just sort of the mayor is the first among equals and gets to run the meeting. But that term means something to the public, and I think all of us in our own way try to maximize that for the benefit of our city. It's hard to believe, actually, it's been 13 years since we became a city. We have achieved so much during that time. From the first day, 3 of us sitting up here from the first day, had to establish a government when there was none. There were 5 of us on election night, and we were it. We were 100% of the government of Rancho Cordova. So Bob was the police chief, and I was the city attorney, and Linda was the planner for several months there. Yeah, but we survived that, and we have accomplished so much over these years. We have renewed our image. We have established a basic government and had to do a general plan and create a police department. We built an awesome, great city team, dedicated employees. We've torn down some real problems in Rancho Cordova, and typically these happen during the year I'm mayor. I don't know how that works out, but we've torn down the Stagger. Anybody remember the Stagger Inn? Yeah. How about the Cordova Inn? The No Value Inn? The Bradshaw Inn? All sounds, you know, I think there's no in crowd left in Rancho Cordova. They're gone. We tore them all down. We've also added some really great assets. We've remodeled Folsom Boulevard with, Cyrus, you can collect the math, but it's in excess of $20 million of grants we've received to improve Folsom Boulevard and the infrastructure around it. We've made and created the the Rancho Cordova Center of Folsom Lake College on Folsom Boulevard. That was quite an accomplishment. And recently we've remodeled a lot of retail, and there's even more of that to come. There's a lot of economic interest in Rancho Cordova. Those are all wonderful accomplishments. We've also fixed some old problems. We've addressed a lot of the old apartment complexes in our community and found a healthy future for them. And we've won a lot of awards, not least among them the All-America City Award. And we were named the best place to work among any government by Money Magazine, which is quite an accomplishment and says a lot about our staff and our dedication. We've really established, I think, a reputation of doing things differently and, dare I say, better than a lot of local governments. Some of that is our youth. Some of that is our naivete, perhaps. Some of that is our aggression to get things done where others have sort of thrown up their hands and said it's impossible. And a lot of it has to do with our approach. We as a city don't seek to do everything and fix everything and be everything. We seek to fulfill the role of broker, catalyst, and facilitator to help other people accomplish what they want to accomplish in a way that benefits all of us. And that's where we have found the greatest strength. We've had enormous fiscal success, always had a balanced budget, always ended up the year in the black, always had resources available when we needed them for key projects. And we've had successes in ways that I can tell you the many jurisdictions that we interact with are enormously jealous of. one of which is the Cordova Community Council. And the partnership we have between our citizens and their beloved organizations and the Community Council acting as an organizing body for all those organizations and passions and interests to further the interests of all of us as a city, whether it's having great events, creating new organizations where we needed them, or achieving something unique, has been a huge success for us. So we've had an awesome run, I think, as a new city. And it's probably capped by the success of Measure H at the polls a few years ago, and now all the projects that are rolling out for Measure H, or our Community Enhancement Fund. I don't think you've seen anything yet with respect to what we're going to be able to accomplish as a city. But of course, there's always more challenges. Lyndon Johnson sort of famously said, "When the burdens of the presidency seem unusually heavy, I always remind myself it could be a lot worse. I could be a mayor." And, you know, there's a lot of reality in that. We were at a meeting just a few weeks ago where Vice President Biden essentially said the same thing. He said, "I was in local government as a county supervisor, and it was too hard. I had to run for the U.S. Senate to get out of there." That's brutal work. Well, cities are where most people live. It's where we live our lives. It's where life happens. It's where government has the greatest effect on a population. Think about the things that cities do that other levels of government don't, from policing to streets to economic development to planning. All of these things, education, impact the lives of our residents in ways that no other level of government does. And this is also where government is most accountable. So for me, this is the most exciting level of government. The opportunities are the greatest, and the challenges are also the greatest. And I want to talk a little bit about some of the challenges that I see remaining. I think Rancho Cordova could be safer. This is an issue we have wrestled with for as long as we've been a city and somewhat before. And a lot of it is perception, but there's always a reality. Crime has dropped enormously, faster than other jurisdictions around us while we've been a city, but we could do more. Schools could have higher achievement scores in Rancho Cordova. This is a challenge we face, and I think we should face it head on. We need more economic success in some of our older neighborhoods. It's a challenge we face along with suburbs all around the United States, but we're working hard to try to find solutions there, but it's a challenge. We need more strategic investment in Rancho Cordova, in our infrastructure, in economic activity, in amenities. These are all needs that we hear about a lot from our residents and things we need to be concerned about. And we still face some significant issues in dealing with other local governments who frankly don't share the vision of Rancho Cordova or the aspirations for Rancho Cordova or set the standards for Rancho Cordova that we set for ourselves. And that's not an issue that we can dodge. It may be because those other local governments aren't as innovative. Maybe they just don't have the vision or the expectations. But it's something we absolutely have to work on. These are the challenges I'm going to take on, but also this council is taking on every time we meet in one way or another. And we're working for you on that front. And I want to tell you a little bit about what I think we can do in some of these areas. You know, in public safety, that's job number one for any local government. That's fundamentally why we exist. We have to maintain safety of our population. We can do more with enhancing that ability. And with Measure H, we've added more cops. We have a more proactive policing strategy, which if you think about it, is probably the best sort of policing strategy. If you're reactive, you're sort of cleaning up a mess. If you're proactive, you're trying to stop the mess from ever happening. Ideally, you wouldn't have any messes to clean up. That would be the perfect community. So the more proactive we can be, the better off we are. And we are taking steps towards that goal in a lot of different ways, including through really effective and aggressive code enforcement, which I think will continue. Where we've been proactive in programs like Blight Busters, which you'll see back this year as we're going to call probably Blight Busters Plus. But it'll be exciting and residents will be engaged in it, and we're excited about how that will work. You're going to see similar efforts on apartments and rentals and commercial properties. And you're going to see us work on the complications of the drought. There are trees out there that need addressing, and we're going to find creative ways to do that. You'll see that coming this year. And over all of that, and through all of that, you're going to see better public safety communications. We're going to do a better job of talking to our residents about public safety and engaging our residents in public safety issue. Issue area number 2, education. We have worked, and I have at this podium at this time before said, we need better options on public education and better ways to interact. We've added a little expertise on the council since I last made that speech. And I think we've learned an awful lot about what sort of partnerships work and what don't. And I'm excited about opportunities to engage local churches in that partnership and other nonprofits. We're also rolling out just about $1 million of education programs aimed at unique aspects of our situation in Rancho Cordova, which no other community in our region is doing. It's possible because of Measure H, our Community Enhancement Fund, but you can expect to see more of those efforts, smarter efforts, better efforts, and hopefully more success to go along with that. On the strategic investment side, you just have to open the Business Journal or the B to sort of see what's happening in Rancho Cordova. It's a little hard to miss. I mentioned the infrastructure of Folsom Boulevard. We're not done there. There's a lot more to do, and we've got funds in hand to do the next phase. You're also going to see more bicycle facilities in Rancho Cordova. You're going to see more neighborhoods with their streets repaved faster. And this is an enormous improvement over where we were pre-incorporation. As I recall, the county had a 99-year repavement schedule. So they guarantee every resident of the county, we will repave the street in your neighborhood within 99 years. We're probably on, I don't know, Cyrus, the 10 or 15-year schedule, something a little more reasonable. But you're going to see a lot of that. That's all public investment. You're going to see more private investment in Rancho Cordova that we're facilitating, whether it's grocery and retail development, which we're having a lot of, or entertainment development, and of course, the new housing that is all struggling and really eager to get into Rancho Cordova. And you're going to see some public and private partnerships towards these investments, whether it's reinvention of outdated housing and retail or other options. That's definitely something we'll pursue. On the partner agency front, I think our job more than anything is to share our vision for Rancho Cordova, what it should be, what it can be, what the opportunities are. Too often, I think Rancho Cordova and other communities, particularly suburbs, are put into a box of public opinion, and often that opinion is outdated, irrelevant, inappropriate, flat out wrong, occasionally biased. People of other agencies probably think they know us or know something about us, but my position is they don't. And they've got something to learn, and it's our job to take off their blinders. We need to expose them to the real opportunities and assets that we have, the options we have as a community. We need to inspire them to see our vision of the future of Rancho Cordova. And when I say we, I'm looking at everyone in this room. It's everyone's job, not just this council's job. You know, our community has enormous natural, economic, cultural, and certainly not to be overlooked, volunteer assets. Our first mayor, Dave Roberts, sort of famously, at least locally, famously said, and the grammar might be challenging, but that was Dave, Rancho Cordova's future is greater than its past. I think that's actually written on the wall right back there in the back of the room from when we inaugurated this very room that has his name. I think that statement, that Rancho Cordova's future is greater than its past, has never been more true than this moment. With all of us gathered here right now, this moment, with all the achievements we've made as a city, all the challenges and opportunities we face, and all the assets that we possess, members of the community, members of the staff, my colleagues on the city council, it is our responsibility to deliver on that promise. Not just for ourselves, but because of our kids and the future that we owe them. None of us on our own can accomplish what we see as the future of this community. But united, I think we are an unstoppable force. So join with me, join with us, join with each other in any way you can to achieve all those dreams of cityhood that we set out to achieve those many years ago under Bob's leadership, and the dreams of all of our residents and all of our kids today. Because Rancho Cordova's future is truly unlimited. Thank you. May God bless all of you. May God bless this great city, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you. And with that, we're going to have cake. We're adjourned for a few minutes.